Hi guys, this is Frederik from the Techno label Detroit, Berlin. I want to say sorry because I couldn't keep my word. I promised you guys new tutorial videos and production tips, but I've not been able to live up to that promise yet, because 2 years ago there were some construction works on the sewerage and they made a little oopsie. We figured it out about almost a year ago. We had some problems with the terrace being overflooded when it was pouring rain. So what eventually happened, they needed to connect 2 sewer tubes, but instead of connecting 2 tubes they only connected 1 and they left the other one open. So in order to prevent major damage in the upcoming years, because everything under the house is getting very moist and we have the danger of collapsing, so they need to open it all up. So we're now in the studio and there's no gear, there's no equipment, there's only plastic covering the acoustic panels because they will make a lot of dust. So all the sensitive equipment, it's moved to another location. It's a temporary location and I will be able to do some productions, but in the last I think 3 or 4 months I've been mastering all the great demos we had, enabled to cross the gap when there's construction works. We will lose a lot of time, so I won't be able to master it in the upcoming months. So therefore I've been very busy, not only mastering stuff but also relocating the studio. It's a lot of material that has to be moved. So that's what I've been doing instead of making nice videos. So I will promise you there will be videos. Now I will try to give you a few tips, because this situation, it's been a little bit inspiring, it's been a lot of nerve-wracking, but I want to learn some things out of it and share those with you guys. So excuse me for not being able to make videos sooner, but it's been a ride, and the ride is still going on. Tuesday, now we're Sunday, on Tuesday they will be drilling here, they will be cutting the blue stone. Blue stone, it means it's cut by hand, so it's very precise. We can't just order new blue stone, it needs to be made on order. So when we know how many stones they broken, we can order it again. So it will take at least like 2 or 3 months, and then we can relocate all the equipment back to this room where the studio was before. So I think it will be about 4 or 5 months, and then we will be able to operate again, make some new productions, but in the meanwhile it kind of sucks, but there's also positives to the story. It will give some inspiration, because now everything is relocated. The setup is somewhat changed, because in the new location I don't have that many room, plus the monitoring system, the loudspeakers. I know the system, I know how it sounds, and in the new location it will sound totally different. So that will be a little bummer when everything gets moved back to the studio. It will also be some adjusting, because my ears they need to recalibrate. So it will take eventually some time to be able to send out some great productions, but it won't stop me from producing. What did stop me from producing is all the mastering and all the work I had to do to move the studio, so that's a little bit of a relief that now there's some time to make some new productions. And maybe there's even some time to film a little bit of those productions, so I can give you some sort of tutorials. That would be nice. So I will give you a little tour of what's been happening in the studio. Everything is moved, but yeah, I did some work on the walls to prevent from dust damage, because yeah, it's all sensitive equipment. I couldn't move everything, so the big pieces, they're right behind the camera, behind a plastic wall. I hope it will keep the dust out, because there will be a lot of it. So yeah, I will give you a small tour and then go 2 stories higher to the new temporary studio. Not everything is set up yet, but in the upcoming days I will have a little bit of time to do that stuff. So yeah, I will show you around, and I will probably give you a few hints and tips about what this process has been all about. So join me. So this is the other side of the studio. There's a big plastic curtain behind me. Inside there's the studio desk. I took it apart, but the pieces were still too big to move to another location. So there's also a chair, and inside of the closet there's like drum machines, guitar pedals and other very dust sensitive stuff. So yeah, I needed to make sure it's really well preserved during the construction works. So if you would like to join me, I will show you the studio, the temporary studio upstairs. So come with me and I'll show you around. So here we are in the new temporary Detroit Berlin production studio. On my left side, your right side, is the modular setup for live performance, and I will probably be doing some Modtech stuff over here, which is one of my aliases for techno production. My other alias is Rogue Unit. It's more production based. So I did a small setup with my computer, some drum machines, an Akai MPC 4000, excuse me, Moog Grandmother, which is a really nice synthesizer, and some small Eurorack modules to be able to tweak some sounds. All the synths over there, they're not connected because all those cables, audio, USB, MIDI, power cables, they're more like more than 100 cables in here, so I don't connect them all, because when we move back to the studio on the ground level, yeah, I need to connect it all again, and for bridging those 3 or 4 months, I don't think it's necessary to put all the hassle in it to get things all working. So it will be eventually done when we're moving back to the original studio, but for now I will concentrate on some new productions. I really think it's a very positive thing that I can test some new setups. That's one thing that was not possible in the original studio, because everything was set up, all the cables were connected, so it makes it more difficult to change things around. But it's a good thing to change things around sometimes. It will give you inspiration, it will give you new ways to work. So yeah, that's really a plus side of this all troubles with the sewer. Another great thing is that I learned about the subpack. I will get it, it's right here. It's like a tactile subwoofer. You put it on like a backpack, and through bone conducting it will offer you like feeling like you're in a club. You will really feel the bass, you will really feel the kicks, so it makes it optimal for like tweaking those sounds, so you get a really nice working bass and kick relation. Even after we're moving back to the studio down below, it will be a nice device to have that extra kind of ears for monitoring, because yeah, it's really an important part of techno, that's the relationship of the bass and the kick and all the other stuff. So it's important that you have good control over it. Up here I can't use my regular subwoofers because we're next to the bedroom of the neighbors, so mostly I will be producing late into the night, and yeah, we can't make any noise in here, so it's best to be working with headphones, and this system will allow me to have control over those sub-frequencies. So yeah, it's great that I learned about this, and I can't recommend it enough to everyone who's making bass and kick sensitive music. So I have a few tips. Tip 1. Be gentle about your equipment. Be very careful about it, because it's sensitive equipment. All those things, they cost a lot of money, and yeah, you don't want to shorten their lifespan with throwing things around. I needed to move everything, so I just took a lot of care. It took me longer to get everything packed well, but eventually you don't want to ruin things, and you will enjoy them for a much longer period when you just take good care of them. Tip 2. When you have a drawback, try to get most out of it. Try to get inspired, try to get knowledge about things. Just don't go crying in a corner and saying, oh shit, this happened to me. Just take it and do whatever that you want with it, because it's a bad experience, but it's an experience, and I learned in life that even when having bad experiences, you always can learn something from them. They're not pleasant, but it's an experience that otherwise you wouldn't have. So instead of go crying in a corner, embrace it and just move on. It's the right thing to do. So that's my advice. Tip 3. From time to time, it's wise to change your setup. Move equipment around and reconnect them in other ways. Then you will get inspired, and you figure out new ways to work with your sounds. Even if you have a DAW and you switch to another DAW, it's like a change in workflow, and that will give you some new insights, some new inspiration to get making music in a different way. And that's a positive thing. you have your own sound and you won't lose your own sound, because you have things you tend to do every time. So the sound will stay the same. Your signature sound will be the same, but the way you go about it will be different. So you will be making music in a different way, and that's a very positive thing, to not get too repetitive. Techno is very repetitive music, but if you don't change the way you work from time to time, you will get stuck in this kind of loop, that you're not advancing anymore and you're staying on the same level. If you do manage to change your setup a little bit, you get inspired and you will take your music up to the next level. So that's one thing you can do. So I want to thank you guys for sitting through this rather long video. I don't know when the next videos will come, because I'm not going to promise anything, but in the upcoming months there will be still new releases from Detroit, Berlin, the ones I mastered a few months ago. There will still be exciting new things that will come from the label, so we're not dormant, we're still up and running. And yeah, we will learn from this experience, and I hope we'll keep on making you happy and producing nice tracks. So see you around, and yeah, enjoy our music and our future videos whenever they will come out. And also don't forget to subscribe, like our channel, share our music. You will be doing us a great favor, and see you soon.